one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everybody. Sending regrets from Case and Conway, who could not be here with us tonight. And I'm going to turn the meeting over to Jeff Gallagher. Just one reminder, if you would like to speak tonight, please make sure you fill out a card. We'll give it to Ms. Benedetti at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Delsey. Our student showcase tonight is a video showcase, and it has clips of our wonderful elementary enrichment program from across the four buildings. As the board knows, we started this program after COVID, and once we lost the COVID funding, had to abbreviate it a little bit, but it still provides really wonderful opportunities for our kids. We want to give the board and the community a chance to see some of those opportunities and joy in action. So sit back and enjoy.
I've got a spark inside my mind, it's lighting up the air. When something seems confusing, I know the clue is there. A thought becomes a rainbow, shining bright and fair. Oh, I can see those bright ideas everywhere. Bright ideas everywhere, popping up like stars we share. When you think and dare to dream, you'll find more than what they seem. Bright ideas everywhere. Oh, because we care. Lead and build a rocket ship, flying across the sky. Each idea is a stepping stone that helps us reach up high. We laugh, we learn, we stop, we stare, and find those bright ideas everywhere. We work together like a light parade. Everybody always show the magic that we made. So flip the switch and shout hooray. When the dawn lights up the day. Bright ideas everywhere, popping up like stars we share. Dreaming and imagine play, new discoveries every day. Bright ideas every day. Love because we care. Hey, that superstar that you love. You got a light that loves to glow. Not from glitter, not from fame. Your kindness shines just the same. When you share, when you care, you spread that sparkle everywhere. When you smile, when you try, you paint a rainbow in the sky. Shine from the inside, bright and true. The world feels better when it's you. That's how we see the magic in you and me. It's not the shoes or clothes you wear. It's how you laugh and how you share. Every time you lend a hand, you make this world a brighter land. What makes you shine up my shoe? What makes you glow away? I know together strong and sing it loud. We're shining stars in every cloud. Shine from the inside, bright and true. The world feels better when it's you. No matter what, just be kind. That's how you shine from the inside. From the inside. Shine from the inside every day. Let your heart light up the way.
And with with that, we will go into the second part of our presentation tonight on our budget.
Good evening, everybody, and we're continuing with our budget presentation. We're working on the 2026-27 years of next year's budget, and we're focusing on curriculum development and professional development this evening. In curriculum development, this is the code, that's the function. If you take a look at our budget, we will be distributing a line-by-line budget on the website, and the first 4 digits is the function. A 2010 is everything that's in the function of curriculum development. You see here that we're looking to increase the budget about 5% from our current year to next year. The dollar value of that equates to about $100,000. And it's for curriculum writing. One of the big drivers of the increase is curriculum writing, which was previously included in the teaching function, right? Different function A2110. That as we go through the budget every year, we take a look and we say, does it make sense for a certain code to sit in a certain function? We realize this year, as we're preparing for next year's budget, that curriculum writing really should be in the curriculum development function, A2010. Even though the teachers are the ones who are doing the writing, they're getting the compensation for it, it really should be in the function of curriculum development. So we shifted that line item with the funding into curriculum development, and that's one of the main drivers of why this is going up about $100,000, because about half of that is what we pay for curriculum writing. Most of that takes place over the summer. Another big driver of the increase is some BOE, what we call COSER is the nickname, but what it stands for is cooperative service, and some increases for reading professional development for math and reading. We'd like to do some increases there, and that's another reason why this code is going up this amount. And contractual salaries for increases for our curriculum staff. Those are our directors, and then clerical support in those offices, whether it's math, science, BOA, etc. All the other codes really remain stable with only minor adjustments, some up and down minor adjustments throughout the rest of the line items within A2010 curriculum development. The next function that I would like to focus on this evening is generally called professional development, but in the state budget descriptions of the different codes, it's called in-service training. The function is A2070, and you see here, which does happen sometimes as we talk about our plan for next year, there's going to be a proposed decrease, right? About a 5% increase. So it's interesting, you see about a 5% decrease there, and we saw about a 5% increase, but of course the base is much different. That's why the dollar variance is so different as well. So the percentage may be about the same, but the dollar variance is different because the base is different. We're talking here about the $300,000 budget for professional development that's dropping down to about $277,000. And let me talk a little bit about the main drivers for this function. Stipends for staff who teach in-service courses. That comprises a lot of that A2070 function. Contractual allotments, so staff can take courses outside the district. So in our contracts, we allow a certain amount of money for our staff to take courses. Sometimes we call that study money. And then again, BOE's cooperative services for regional workshops and Frontline, right? So Frontline is our professional development tracking software, and that's a large part of the BOE's cost under A2070. The reason why it's decreasing a bit is because the district over the past few years has participated in a program called Tri-States, which was very helpful for the district, but we're not going to do it next year. You don't necessarily have to do it every year in order to really derive value from the program. You can do it for a cycle and then take a break. So we can decrease our professional development budget because we're not going to do Tri-States next year. And those are pretty much the headlines of curriculum development and professional development. So our budget calendar, we're in February, so we're still at the beginning stages of our budget development cycle. April 14th is our budget adoption, about 2 months from now. And then about 3 months from now is the budget vote. And always the week before the vote, we have the budget hearing, which is an opportunity for anybody to come and talk about the budget. But in terms of the final decision of what's in the budget for next year, that happens at budget adoption. Any questions or comments from the board members first?
Thanks, Mr. DeVito. I just have a couple of questions. When you did the technology presentation a couple of meetings back, you said that it was pending future meetings with staff. Have those meetings been completed and is that basically pretty much done?
Well, interesting question, and I will share with you that a lot of what our meetings regarding technology have focused on is putting the software budget under 2630 if it's really a software that we use in the classrooms, because the function 2630 is computer assisted instruction. So maybe a software was formerly in a teaching code, 2110, and we realized, you know what, that software line item really should be in 2630. So we've done some shifts between the functions, not so much a change in the actual bottom line funding, but we've been doing some shifts because we want to make sure that anything having to do with software in the classroom is under the purview of Mr. Harvey directly through his budget function that he oversees, which is 2630. So not so much changes in what a particular director or principal may need, but just making sure it's in the right spot so there's not unnecessary duplication and that we really get a handle on value. So one of the things that I know Mr. Harvey works on with the directors is taking a look at the usage. So we've been talking about that over the past few weeks with during the different budget meetings. There is something on the agenda for this evening, and if I may talk a little bit about that, something that we did talk about at the technology budget meeting when we were over in the Dell, I think it was, no, maybe we were here, was the fact that supply chain delays and some of the costs going up. So I have a budget transfer on the agenda to take some money from the current year budget so that we can put it in the technology code so that we can get started with some of those purchases to get ready for the summer, for September, to make sure we have the devices, that we don't have to endure any unnecessary price increases by waiting, and that's up to the board's review and approval for this evening. So that was something that we did talk about since our budget meeting, trying to get really ahead of that, and also just making sure that the different apps, the different software lines are in the right places.
With the elementary enrichment prior video, that come under curriculum development?
In a way, the clubs, and prior to that, enrichment was something that was coming out of the curriculum office in terms of the overall oversight, but it's really run by the schools themselves. But maybe some of the support for the schools was coming out of the curriculum office, but really the schools and the teachers run it.
And my last question, if there been any interest in new courses being developed? Because usually this is the time of year where the high school sort of.
I know Dr. Gallagher would like to respond.
New courses.
Yeah, so they'll obviously talk more about that in student meetings when they do the high school presentation, but we're introducing an AP cybersecurity course next year, in addition to the barbering course through BOCES. I think those are the only two. Any other new courses in high school?
Rebranding and social studies of the psychology course.
That's right, and I think there might be a new economics course as well.
It would be the second year. and
Yeah,
then
that's-
economics and they're going.
So the primary ones are really the barbering course and AP cybersecurity.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
And I just want to thank you for breaking everything down step by step for us. It really makes things much clearer and easier to follow. So thank you for that, Mr. DeVito.
You're welcome.
Student organization announcements.
We had our most productive blood drive with 67 pints donated and over 180 lives saved. We have one more drive in early May. Additionally, this helps 2 seniors with a scholarship awarded by the New York Blood Center for our effects. Class Olympics are coming up and we are in full swing. So We're in full swing now for the dance preparation that evening. We will have a Spirit Week leading up to Class Olympics as well. In an effort to bring stronger excitement to the event, today we had PS I Love You Day, and it was a huge success. Students came in and placed handwritten sticky notes on every desk in the building. The notes had positive affirmations and support on them. That is all.
Thank you.
Matt, can I just ask, can you introduce yourself? We're very excited. We have another person from student organization. We never put your name.
My name is Jack Hillman. I'm a sophomore and I'm the treasurer for student organization.
Awesome. That's all. Thank you for the presentation.
Questions and comments of the public on tonight's agenda only? Okay. Treasurer's report for December 2025. No action needed. Approval of the minutes for executive session on January 20th, 2026, and executive session and regular meetings of January 27th, 2026.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Dr. Bryan?
I vote yes.
Sam?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Turn it over to presentation to the superintendent.
Thank you, Ms. Belzy. Before we get into the listed agenda, we have a walk-on agenda item tonight, which is support for the New York State School Boards Association's advocacy against charter school expansion on Long Island in particular. So, Ms. Familetti, could you read that resolution?
Whereas charter schools and district schools are funded with public funds through taxation. Whereas the expenditures of district schools are overseen by elected boards, which are accountable to the public. Whereas the budgets of fiscally independent district schools are approved by the citizens of the communities that they serve. Whereas charter schools divert public funds from the budgets of district schools. Whereas the diversion of public funds adversely impacts the budgets of district schools. Whereas charter school expenditures are not overseen by an elected school board that is accountable to the public. Whereas charter school spending plans are not approved by the citizens of the communities in which they serve. Whereas charter schools are permitted to open without the approval of voters in the communities in which they serve. Therefore, be it resolved that Long Beach Union Free School District hereby supports NISBA advocacy for legislation requiring all charter applications to be approved by the local voters of impacted communities prior to submission to the relevant state chartering entity.
Motion made.
I'll second it.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I just think that this is such an important issue in public education today. Collaboration of charter schools, where the money comes from. They're not being held to the same standards as public schools. I just think that it's a critical time for public education and for the public in general to step up and take a position against charter schools. So I'm delighted in terms of this resolution, and I'm supportive of it.
Thank you.
I vote yes.
Dr. Bryan?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
I'd ask the board to consider item 1, certificate of personnel, highlighting especially item 1G, the award of tenure to Mr. Jake Farron, one of our
Can I get a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Okay. Any discussion?
Yes. Just, this is just you, Mr. Barrett, usually it's for 20 people in this room. Yes, a little one that you hold in the lap. But one of the most serious challenges the Board of Education has is granting tenure. And when we do grant tenure, we're basically saying we're putting our trust in you. It's nice to get a lifetime appointment to a job, but with it comes the trust, and I'm trusting you. We're used to the grade, you have a very difficult job. You had a hire done very, very well by the kids at Long Beach, particularly the middle school. Would salute you on that. We're hoping that 20 years from now, and I'm sure it will not be here to see, that you have the same energy and the same commitment to Long Beach you demonstrated during your probationary period. And we look forward to hearing continued good things about you and your performance and your joy to the kids and parents in the school in the district. So love to you on behalf of the Board of Education. Thank you for your service.
I vote yes.
Now, Brian?
Now, I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Congratulations.
You can stay if you want, but if you want to take those lovely kids out to some ice cream, you can also do that.
Kind of how well behaved they are.
I
Wow.
I'd ask the board to consider item 2, non-certificated personnel.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Pinto?
I vote yes.
Dr. Ryan?
Vote yes.
And I vote yes.
Item 3 requires no action. It's the third reading of a policy on school safety plans. I'd ask the board to consider items 4 through 11 together.
Second.
Any discussion? Mr. Pinto?
I apologize, I want to go back. I always like thanking for the donations. And want to pass them. Thanks again to Rainbow Research and AOH and 10 Piano Tuning and Young Life for all the donations to the district for the kids. Thank you. And I vote yes.
Dr. Ryan?
I vote yes.
And I vote yes. Okay. Board of Education, additional new or old business, if any?
I just have 2 questions that concern the intense cold. I know Albany has talked a lot about heat limits as far as sending kids to school in terms of how hot is it before you suspend school in terms of kids and their general welfare. I'm just questioning concerning the cold that we recently experienced. Have they looked at that? Are there any thermometer in terms of how cold does it have to be before we suspend school or before high cold is set for kids?
So, Mr. Diddy, you can correct me if I'm wrong, there is a minimum classroom temperature, which is, I think, 65. I might be wrong on that. You have to move children out of the house. It's not so, interestingly enough, a consideration of a minimum temperature where you can't have school at all.
Outside temperature.
Yeah, it's minimum classroom.
Okay, thank you for that. It's just connected to that. I was just concerned about how was attendance during the 2 days, 2 or 3 days, well, I guess up until, wasn't nice until probably yesterday. In terms of after the storm, that Monday school was suspended, but Tuesday through Friday, how was attendance?
I don't know, I can get back to you on that, I suspect it was more than normal.
I just felt, I just had these visions of kids waiting at the bus stop.
Yeah.
In terms of the intense school. Just sort of, that's concerned, but thank you. Thanks, Ms. Kelsey, that's it for me.
Sam, anything?
We both saw that play, the middle school play. The performance was excellent. If you get a chance to catch some of our arts, take it. It's been awesome.
Yep, I also wanted to congratulate the cast and crew of Once Upon a Mattress. It was delightful, and they did a wonderful job. I also want to take a minute to congratulate 2 of our high school students who, I don't know if any of you have attended the Heckscher Museum of Art. It's a wonderful little museum, and they actually have a real jury for students exhibit there every year. We have 2 students out of hundreds who applied who were accepted this year, and Lila Pinto is one and Kayla Richardson, so I'd like to congratulate them on being accepted into this really wonderful.
I was gonna congratulate my niece as well, but I don't want to make it seem like favoritism, so yeah, congrats to my niece, Lila.
Okay. Questions and comments from the public? For training?
Janine Gillespie?
Yes.
Good evening, Janine Gillespie, 527 West Penn Street. We have a recent thing going on in our district, which I know is an executive session type thing, so no names can be named. But I have to say, as a resident and a taxpayer in this school district, I am highly appalled at your putting something up on a social media post pertaining to the incident, of which I think was totally unprofessional, because that social media is absolutely lethal, vitriol, and there are judge and juries of women on that social media post. It was a letter from you pertaining to what is going on.
That may be true, but I didn't put it up.
Your letter was professional. I'm not saying it wasn't. You didn't name names, you didn't name the situation. That was within the guidelines of what was done on a school board and school district. But to put it up on that social media, you caused the person who's involved in this, and his family, and his friends, and the community that he is very largely respected in. He has changed his life. I've known this man since he is 14 years old. What he has accomplished in his life, your posting of that letter on that social media post destroyed everything that he has worked so hard for and paid back this community 110 times over with his volunteering, his being in so many positions, wearing many hats in this district, which obviously you trust him to do it, and then you abandoned him by posting that. Because it had to be taken down. That's how bad it was getting. And my other thing is, where is your AD? This is a sport that is new. There are not many female coaches yet, because it is a new sport for women. And so mostly every women's wrestling team is being coached by men. It is a contact sport. All one has to do is look at the trophies that they give out to these men and women. It is two people absolutely connected in their bodies. So for someone not to be able to deal with that, that's okay. You take a step back from that sport and pick another one. But you also left that person out to hang to dry, and so did the AD. But by not having a supervisor in that room during that practice. My son coaches in New York a women's wrestling team. He is never alone in that room. They make sure that there is a supervisor on premise at all times, and they also have video. So I think these are things that this school board needs to look at.
We appreciate you coming up here and speaking your position. I know we're not speaking on the issue at all. I just want to say that I didn't see, because I'm not on social media pages that these were posted. But I know that
11561?
I'm not a mom. They don't let me on. But I do know that someone may have sent out apparently a message from the superintendent, but it wasn't the superintendent. Someone else did that. So to blame her it's not true. She didn't do it. So maybe someone else.
Well, that might be the case.
Yeah, just
And then there should be
clarification.
a statement coming back from the district.
But we can't control every aspect of social media. I just know that she didn't post anything of the district, and that page, which only my wife has access to, that wasn't Dr. Gallagher posting it. That was maybe somebody taking apparently and posting it publicly, and then all the comments, but it was outside.
It came from her. If you
Well,
look at it, well, it's like.
I'm not,
Yeah, we're just letting you know, for your gratification.
Well, okay, if that may
But yeah.
be, has anybody from the school board addressed the moms of 11561 for the future, that anything that comes out with, so to speak, yours cannot be relinked?
I don't think that's within our control. Anyway,
Well, I think you should reach out. They do have a board.
Okay.
They do have a board. So,
appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Long Beach Classroom Teachers Association?
Karen Bloom, LBCTA. I just want to take a minute to sincerely thank the board for passing that resolution. Locally, we're trying really hard to fight the charter school fight, and our last few conferences over the weekend, every school board we could get on board with us is just great. So we really appreciate it and so nice. So thank you so much.
Administrative Supervisory and PPS Group.
Good evening, Keith Wiesma, ASPPG. Congratulations to Jake Barron for receiving tenure. We're happy to have you here and thanks for all you do for the district.
LBSEA, Longview School Employees Association, Group C. Anybody here? PTA? That's it. Okay, thank you for all you do. Motion to adjourn?
Motion.